So here we discuss first about a DHCP and a DHCP server. Then we'll go for a DNS. First we'll finish the DHCP, take 5-10 minutes break, and then we'll go for a DNS. Okay. So what is a DHCP? Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol. We know that one. And what is their port number? 6768. So it is a protocol, then why we should discuss? That is the point, right? So there is a server called a DHCP. This is a DHCP server. What is the duty of server? Provide a service to the client. Then what is DHCP server is doing? What is DHCP server do? So in the network, we have a DHCP client pieces. There is a systems in the devices in the network. We have a DHCP. What is this DHCP server is doing? It gives an IP address. Is exactly say, better not to say gives. It is better to say configure IP addresses to the client pieces. Of course, you have a NIC is there to connect to the network, but you need an IP address. And this IP address, either you should configure manually or you should get IP address automatically, right? Either you should configure it manually or you should get automatically. Automatically means from where we are getting? From the DHCP, from the DHCP server. In the DHCP server, there is a IP address range will be mentioned. This is my IP address range from 192.168.1.200. So this is the IP address range is given. And my IP address is 192.168.1.67. Now what happened? So whenever this client asks for an IP address to the DHCP server and DHCP server assign an IP address to the client PC. Assign an IP address to the client PC. Okay. You can say assign or configure. You can say assign or configure. Don't say give. I think I given, yeah, correct only it is. DHCP server assign an IP address to your client automatically. Client devices or clients automatically. Client devices automatically. Assigns an IP address to the client devices automatically. Assigning of IP address is two ways. One is manual way, another one is automatic way. One is manual way, another one is automatic way. If you are assigned an IP address manually, that is called a static IP address. That is called a static IP address. You can assign an IP address to the client device manually. So go to ncpa.cpl. Then it will take you directly network and network connections window. Okay. So then open the adapter. Double click on the adapter properties. Okay. So go to the adapter. Go to the properties and go to the IPv4 properties. See, this is IP address assigned manually. Use the following. IP address means you assign an IP address manually, or you can assign it normally also like this. Go like this, and I can assign an IP address manually. Okay, I can assign an IP address. This is manually we can able to assign IP address. You can define IP address, subnet mask, default gateway, and DNS address also. Okay, I given only two, but if you have a default gateway, mention the default gateway. If you have a DNS server address, mention the DNS server address. Okay, so assign an IP address manually is like this. Use the following IP address. So if you use a manual assignment, what will happen? The IP address is static. In case I disconnected and I connected to the different network, IP address won't change. Again, I have to change my IP address. Now I'm getting an IP address from my DHCP server in the office. I shut down my PC at evening. I went to my home. I connected to my Wi-Fi network in my home. I should get a different IP. In case if I use manually, then again I have to go to when I go to home, again I have to change IP address manually because of no, if in case no DHCP server or if I am using manual kind of stuff, I have to assign myself only. Okay, the point is that one. And another important point is guys like this. See, if you have a 10 computers, can we assign IP address to the 10 computers manually?
Sir, sir,
Yeah, tell me.
sir, it is written that it assign an IP address to the client device automatically, but underneath it's saying that it can assign in manual and automatic both.
Which one? Here it is.
First, it is written that it is assigned automatically. Then below it's written that it assigned manually.
No. This is the different part. Good. Point is assigning of IP addresses to the devices two ways. One is manual way and one is not drives.
So if
Device.
I didn't assign it manual, then it will automatically assign for me, na?
No. This is separate part. Separate part. Assigning of IP addresses in generally. So I'll make it much generally. Assigning of IP address to the devices two ways. One is manual way, another one is automatic way. Okay. This is introduction to DHCP part. This is another part.
Sir, if in starting, if a device is connected to a router,
Hmm.
so in starting it automatically assign na IP.
Yeah, in generally, you have a laptop and you have a Wi-Fi network. You connected to Wi-Fi and you will get an IP address automatically from your router because router is act like a DHCP server
So
in your
first time
network.
automatically an IP. After that, I can manually change it.
If you want, you can change it. If you want, you can change it. Okay.
So what is the advantage or disadvantage of changing uh,
To
automatic
manually,
or
automatic
manually?
and manual. Yeah. So that's what we are discussing. Okay. Think like this. You are now understand how to assign IP address, right? But before maybe in a few
Sir,
years
can you
back,
show it
maybe
again how to assign the IP address manually?
what it is?
Can you show it again how to assign IP address manually?
Okay. I will show you. I think I closed it. So you can do in a different ways. One is by go to control panel. Or you can use ncpa.cpl directly also. Network and internet, network and sharing center, change adapter settings. this window will open. So if you use ncpa.cpl, directly it will open. Check what is your adapter. For example, actually this is my original adapter, which is actually connected to the Wi-Fi network. Okay, so I don't want to touch it. Why? Because of my internet connection will be lost. So this is my one of my virtual adapter I'm showing here. Okay, it is already configured manually, but we'll see. Go to the properties, IPv4 properties. Now, for example, my network is 192 series. Okay, 192.168.1.0 is my network. So already I don't have a DHCP server in my network. Or if I have it, but I want to give an IP address manually. For example, I have a server. To the server, always we should give manual IP addresses only, not from the DHCP, because DHCP addresses may change, something will happens like that. Okay, so we try to assign an IP address to the servers always manually. In normal desktops, we don't go with the manual, but we can give manual also. To give manual, you have to select the second option. Use the following IP address. For example, in my network is 192 network, 192.168. Something 10 dot network it is. Okay. And there is a available IP address. For example, I have available IP address is 21. Okay. So I'm using default subnet mask, and in my network, I have a default gateway is also there. So then I'm giving a default gateway address. And I have a some DNS server address. I know it. So then I have to give. Okay. So then click OK. It is warning multiple default gates intended to provide redundancy. Okay. So I will change my default gateway. Why? Okay. It is not like any default gateways. Remove now all. Okay. So if you have a default gateway, so like the what is your default gateway address, give that. If you know the DNS server address, give it. And if you know which IP address is not used in the network, just give it. Okay. So this the point is your configured IP address manually. DHCP enable now means you configured IP address manually. Okay. Okay. To the
Sir,
servers. Yeah.
sir, would they ask in the interview to change the manually the IP
They
address?
won't ask you to change your IP address. They will ask how you assign an IP address manually or how you assign IP address automatically. The settings they will ask. The path is important.
Sir, in automatically we can't do anything, no? It will just connect and it
Yeah,
will
we can't do anything. We can't do anything. If you want to get an IP address automatically, then what to do? Same thing. Double click on the adapter. Go to ncpa.cpl. Double click on your adapter. Properties. IPv4. Properties. Select the first option. Then your system, your adapter is try to get IP address from a DHCP server. Of course, it won't get. We'll see. It is. Yeah, it shows 169.254. That is API error it is. So that we will discuss. Already I told, but we will discuss. Okay.
so basically, sir, we are doing this PC. So if someone is connected with hotspot, so we can give him IP address which we have made. And if I am using router, then is there any option in router?
No, it's not like that. It depends upon your adapter to whom you are connecting. If you are going for Wi-Fi, think like this. This is your laptop. And if you are connecting to the Wi-Fi means you have Wi-Fi adapter. And if you are connected to your mobile hotspot from mobile phone, you will get an IP address. Because in built-in mobile, we have some DHCP service kind of stuff. It will give IP address to your Wi-Fi adapter. Okay. In
So,
case,
sir, just tell me one thing. Suppose my PC is connected with the Wi-Fi.
okay,
Then where I have to change this manually in my PC or from router?
you don't change anything.
Automatically, it can give me an IP, but manually, where I can change it.
Okay, manually you want to assign IP address to your system, you have to do in your system only.
Okay, so it doesn't depend on which device I am connected from.
Yes, yes. For
And
example,
sup
this is
and
PC.
suppose I choose an IP which in which that IP using by someone else, then what happen in that case?
Yeah, very good. That's a good question. So wait. Okay, I will answer first. This is your laptop, for example. This is your laptop. Okay, and this is your Wi-Fi router. By default, your Wi-Fi router also act like a DHCP server. It means it will give IP address to your system. Okay. So when you are connected to your Wi-Fi, go to SSID, give username, password. When connection is established. So what happened? This DHCP server assign an IP address to your adapter automatically. Okay. And you do not change, require to change it to manual. Okay. Still you want it. For example, still you want to give an IP address as a manual. So what you have to do? So this is my Wi-Fi adapter. Okay, double click. I got an IP address from my DHCP server, which is my Wi-Fi router itself. Okay, I have to change it. Then I have to go to here, go to IPv4, and I have to select second option. Then type the IP address, subnet mask, default gateway, DNS server address, if I know it. And there is one important question. It is that's what we are discussing actually. Which IP address have to give? Is it IP address is already taken or which network IP address I have to give? That is a confusion is there. Maybe it is assigned to another device. Maybe it is assigned to another device. Possibility is there. If it is like that, conflicts will be created. Conflicts will be created. Okay. Okay.
So sir, if same IP is using in two device, then they didn't connect na second one.
Yes, that not a second one. Both won't correct now because
Both won't
conflict.
connect.
Because
So
of
in that
conflict.
case, they have to mutually talk and use another IP.
That is a difficulty point. Okay. So like this, you must know which IP address is not yet used. To avoid a conflict, what you have to do? For example, if you are only one person, no problem. Or maybe two, three members, no problem. There is 100 computers. For one computer, you want to assign manually. But what you know which IP address is not yet used in the network. Then only we can able to assign. It's not much easy always. Okay, as generally. But if you are like I said, for servers we assign manually. So we reserved certain IP addresses separately. We put a certain IP addresses for server purpose. Okay, so they will know it. But in generally, we don't know which IP address is not used in the network. Okay, that is a difficulty. So that's what I'm trying to say. Guys, manually, we know how to assign an IP address. For one system, 10 systems, we can assign an IP address. Okay. But what happens if hundreds of systems are there, more number of devices are there, very difficult to assign. There is a possibility of wrong entry IP address. Okay. Instead of typing 192.168, so I want to enter IP address 192.168.1.100, sorry, 1.123. Instead of that one, I type like this, 10.123. So what happened? Wrong IP address. Some people put like this, wrong IP address. Some people like this. Some people put like this. What happened? It's a wrong IP address. Once you give a wrong IP address, you don't know why it is not communicating. Again, you have to check it. Okay? It is manually, if you want to configure, more number of devices increases, the administrative burden is increases. You have to plan properly, you have to write down everything, and you have to assign one by one. And manually you're entering, there is a possibility of entering wrong IP address. And another, as you said, that is a very good point. That is, if in case two systems are having same IP, so there is two, three members are working, first they are giving an IP addresses. So one is given 192.168.1.23. In another system, same IP address I given 192.168.1.23. So what happened? These two systems cannot communicate to anyone, not to each other, not to anyone. Possibility of conflicts, possibility of wrong IP address entrance, and difficult to assign IP address for a more number of devices. Understand, guys? If you are using manually.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And as he asked, very good, that is also one question. What is, for example, I came to office, I know what is my office network. So I know which IP address are available. I assigned manually to my laptop. I connected, I got IP address automatically, but I change it to manual. So I take that IP address, note down the IP address aside, and I use it as a manual one. I change use following IP address assigned manually. So what happened? I went to my home. There I am connecting. From tomorrow, I want to do some work from home. So I connected to my Wi-Fi network. My Wi-Fi network. So what happened? Again, how to assign IP address based on my network. That network. This is 172.16 network. There it is 192.168 network. Both are different networks. Both are their IP address is different, right? Again, I have to change it. It is become difficult for any individual person. Okay. Not everyone knows how to assign. You know, now you know how to assign IP address manually. I know how to assign IP address manually. We can assign, but how other people can able to assign? Lot of people don't know the how to assign IP address. Even there are from CSC background, IT background, computer masters, like maybe there are 10 years experience in the computer field also. Maybe some people don't know how to assign an IP address. Plus, even they know the how to assign IP address, we've seen there is a lot of challenges. You must know what IP address is available. You must know you should not enter IP address wrongly, so then we cannot communicate. Okay. We must know what network we are using. Like that information is required. Okay. Not everyone knows how to assign IP address. In my hometown, I have a Wi-Fi router. My father, mother don't know how to assign an IP address to their mobile phones. Okay. My nephew is there. My nephew also required he has a laptop kind of stuff. Okay. Gaming station, mobile phones, tablets. He don't know how to assign an IP address. Another point. And it is difficult to assign, or we cannot assign, or it's very difficult to assign an IP address to certain type of devices. Desktop laptops, we know how to assign IP address. How to assign IP address to mobile phone? How to assign an IP address to something like a printers, smart TVs, Alexa kind of devices? Okay, it's not easy. It's not much easy. Like we can take it, connect it to Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi act like your DHCP server, so it will give an IP address. Okay, if manually you want to configure, where is an interface? It's difficult, right?
Sir, I don't
Understand?
think so that every device has this like feature of changing the IP address manually.
Yeah, that's not much easy as we thought. It is computer has a clear-cut information, but some devices like I have a Wi-Fi printer is there. So I want to connect Wi-Fi itself. It is very difficult. I have to connect it to my laptop. Then I have to go to the interface. Then I have to change my Wi-Fi details. Then it will connect and it will assign IP address. I can assign manually, but it is always headache for me. Okay. Okay. So not always it is easy to assign. And we may know how to assign an IP address, but most of the people don't know what is an IP address, what IP addresses are available, what network we are using. So they don't. Simply connecting to the Wi-Fi is quite easy compared to assigning IP address to the devices. Okay, so these are the different challenges we are facing when we are using manual configuration of IP address. Of course, manual configuration is also important. For example, you have a device like a two, three devices should communicate each other. We don't require DHCP because two, three devices we can able to assign IP address so they can able to communicate each other. I have a two, three computers are there. I connected to a simple LAN network and then I will assign an IP address and they will communicate each other. Okay, I don't require DHCP, but more number of devices are there and it's difficult to assign an IP address to each and everyone. And there is a possibility of conflicts and wrong IP address sentence. So better it is utilization of DHCP to reduce this kind of burdens, wrong IP addresses, conflicts. And everyone is not required to know how to assign an IP address because you have a DHCP, it will assign an IP address to the client devices. And different types of devices we are using nowadays, like a smart TVs, this smart LED kind of stuff, printers kind of stuff, simply connected to your Wi-Fi automatically, it will assign an IP address to it. So use the DHCP server to assign IP address to the client's devices, okay, client devices. That's it. The IP address changes frequently. So where we are changing network, so the point is meaning is different than whatever I written, but the meaning is little different. I use a laptop here. I connected to this network, Wi-Fi network. I got an IP address from the DHCP server. Now my work is completed today at evening. So I closed, shut down my PC. I went to my home. I got some work. I connected to my Wi-Fi. So from there, I'm getting another IP address from that DHCP server. So IP addresses are changing. Today you get one IP, tomorrow you will get another IP from the same network. Possibility it is I'm getting one IP today, tomorrow I will get another IP. There is a possibility. Maybe after I return after 1 month, I will get another IP. Okay. In the same network, you may get a different IP address. If you change the network also, you'll get a automatically IP address will be updated. When we change the network, IP address changes automatically. So you need to go to what is my network, what IP addresses are available. Again, I have to assign an IP address. That button is not there. More number of devices are there. So simply they will get an IP address. No need to go to each and every PC to assign an IP address. and just connected devices in the network. So they will get an IP address from the network, from the DHCP server. And it is very less or no possibility of conflicts or wrong IP address kind of stuff. Okay. Actually, it's don't say less. There's a less or no possibility of entering wrong IP address because IP address are assigned by DHCP server as you are configured. Okay. As you are configured. So automatically the conflicts will be reduces. No wrong IP address entrance will be there. Everyone is not required to know how to assign IP address. I know how to assign an IP address, but everyone is not required to know how to assign an IP address, right? And it is, we can able to assign IP address easily to the different types of devices like your printers, smart TVs, smart LEDs, mobiles also. Okay, guys, understand the difference between your DHCP and DNS, sorry. Understand automatic assignment using DHCP server and the difference between manual and automatic assign of DHCP server.
Yes, sir, understood.
Okay, very good points. Okay, so here it is. These are systems, for example, A system, B system, C, and D are there. So A and B and D are example. There are automatic configuration. It means get IP address from DHCP server. What is DSA? So many messages. How DHCP assign IP address to devices, whether it is checked for all conflicts. It's a software made for a purpose. I am saying whether it is maintain a table to avoid the conflicts, or maybe it is using hash map. It is a key user value. DSA, what is DSA? I don't know. And someone put a we don't go to that much depth, and I will show. No problem. So guys, A, B, and D are DHCP clients. How it is DHCP client? Go to ncpa.cpl. Okay. So I'm a DHCP client. So what is a DHCP client means? Obtain IP address automatically. It means I'm a DHCP client. Okay, I'm a DHCP client. If you are using use following IP address, if you are using use following IP address, it means you are a not DHCP client. Okay, you are a not DHCP client. Obtain IP address automatically. If you choose this one, you are a DHCP client. If you use the following means you configured IP address manually means you are not a DHCP client. You are manual one. Okay, you are a manual one. So this is obtain IP address automatically, obtain IP address automatically, obtain IP address automatically. So these PCs will get an IP address from DHCP server. From DHCP server. I will explain the process, guys. Don't worry. So DHCP server. And this is configured already manually. It is configured. For example, it is 101. Already configured manually. Okay. So it is assigned 100 here, 101 here, 101 is already there, 102 here. But there is a conflict, right? Can you see? There is a conflict. When this conflict is raised, when the conflict is raised, that error will detected by DHCP server. There is a conflict between this and another system. Then what it will do? It reassign an IP address with the other IP. Like this, conflicts will be reduced. Conflict will be reduced. Okay. So even this diagram also same thing. But if it is manual, it IP address cannot be assigned. So DHCP won't give IP address to manual one because it is already having an IP address. It won't request to the DHCP server. Okay. So this is for manual configuration, and this is if you configure with manually, it shows no. DHCP enabled no means it's configured manually. This is for automatic configuration, and you got an IP address from DHCP server, DHCP enable S, and also you can see DHCP server address. Obtain IP address automatically. It means get an IP address from DHCP service. So it is DHCP client. Use following IP address is a manual configuration. A DHCP enable S means you got an IP address from DHCP server. Okay. Also check the DHCP server address. No means IP address configured manually. Even in the Wi-Fi routers or in the DHCP servers. So there is a configuration 1.199 and default gateway and DNS server address. This is the DHCP configure inside a Wi-Fi router. Based on this configuration, so your Wi-Fi router act like a DHCP server, gives IP address to the client PCs. Okay. And there's someone asked a question, that is how DHCP server knows the client IP address, assigned client IP address. Of course, it creates a table called a leased table. It's created a table called a leased table. In that one, device name, of course, internally the device MAC address and IP address assigned to the device. Both information available in the okay. Even for a Wi-Fi router as a DHCP server or as a Windows server. So you can see who can be a DHCP server. A router act like a DHCP server. You can make a Windows server as a DHCP server. You can make a Linux server as a DHCP server. Not only that one, guys. If you see, this is my VMware workstation. Okay. See, this is also getting an IP address from the DHCP server. Clearly, it is not showing. Yeah, here it is showing here. Okay, there is a DHCP server inside of the system which give IP address to our VMware workstation adapter related kind of stuff. It is a kind of service built in application wise it is. Okay. Again, once again, what is the DHCP server will do? It assign or configure IP addresses to the client devices. And if you have a more number of devices, and DHCP server is better option to use it. In our home, we have a Wi-Fi router which is act like a DHCP server, assign IP address to our laptops, desktops, mobile phones, and other devices. Okay. Nothing. Everybody is silent. This is the process of assigning IP address to the clients is called a DORA process. DORA means discover, offer, request, acknowledgement. There is a big story of thing is there, but I'm not going to tell that big story. Please listen carefully. Guys, this is a DHCP server. We know DHCP server. It can be any type of DHCP server. It can be a Wi-Fi router as a DHCP server, or a Windows server as a DHCP server, or Linux as a DHCP server. Whatsoever it is, it has a IP address range is there, and other IP address settings like a default gateway, DNS server address, and IP address ranges is configured in the DHCP server. And this is a DHCP client. Client means it can be a desktop PC or laptop, mobile phone, or any other device it is. And this is DHCP client means obtain IP address automatically. And this IP client don't have any IP address. It want an IP address. DHCP client device do not have any IP address. It want an IP address. So what is it will do? It try to search for a DHCP server. So it will send a packet called a DHCP discovery packet to find where is the DHCP server. If you see here it is. So there is a DHCP servers and DHCP client. This client will send a packets to every device in the network. It will send a packet to every device in the network, which is contains information like a thing is like a RU DHCP server. You came to the Savantis office, for example. You want to find me. Okay. You know my name, but you don't know where I'm located and how I'm looking. So what you will do? You'll ask everyone, right? So is a Latif, is a Latif sir, is a Latif sir, like that. So same thing, the DHCP client don't know who is a DHCP server, and it does not have any IP address of DHCP server, or itself no IP address. So what it will do? It will send a broadcast message called a DHCP discovery packet. This, when DHCP server received this packet, and DHCP server give a reply with a IP offer. So DHCP server gives a client an offer packet. An offer packet. DHCP server give offer packet to the DHCP client. Okay. Offer, IP offer. Yes, I am a DHCP server. Do you want a IP address to the client? The client send a request to the server. Yes, I want this IP address. Then server gives an acknowledgement to the client. Yes, configure this IP address. Okay, so in acknowledgement, it contains about an IP address, lease duration, default gateway, DNS server. So finally, the client will get configured with an IP address. This process we call it as a DORA process. Assigning IP address to the clients. Assign an IP address to the clients by DHCP server. The process of assigning IP address to the client device by the DHCP server is DORA process. What is DORA process? Discover, offer, request, acknowledgement. The client discover the server. Server won't give anything to the client, guys. Server won't search who is the client. It won't do like that. The client has to find the server. Okay. The client send a broadcast message. That broadcast message contains a discovery packet of DHCP server. Okay. The client discover DHCP server with the help of discovery packet. When DHCP server receives the discovery packet from the client, it give IP offer to the client. client receive IP offer from the DHCP server and gives the request, yes, I want this IP address. Okay. Now DHCP server confirm the configuration with an acknowledgement. Yes, this is an IP address, this is a lease duration, and this is default gateway, DHCP server address, and DNS server address. So that is DORA process. Discover, offer, request, acknowledgement. Yesterday, sir said the answer should be one-liners. It is your understanding, it is your and your understanding. Insta them, what is this? I don't understand. The people are chatting but not responding. Uh, um, I don't know what you search in things. Guys, what is the DHCP itself? Network will not specially implemented with the dialogue network protocol, immediately utilize various data structure algorithm. Why these many things are there, I don't understand. Okay, I just I don't know what it is. Okay, simply what is the DHCP? Dynamic host configuration protocol. It is a protocol. What is DHCP server do? DHCP server assign or configure IP address to the client devices. Client DHCP client devices. Okay. Yeah. Someone raise a hand. Sandeep. Okay.
Yes, sir. Sir, like a client request is broadcast in DHCP, or
Yes.
what will be the response? It will be broadcast or unicast?
Yeah. All are broadcaster. All are broadcaster. I reduced the story. Why? Because of it will become very lengthy. That's why I reduced the story. For example, in network, we have a lot of devices are there now. We are connected, all devices are connected. And this is a, for example, server, DHCP server, and this is DHCP client. All are connected. So the client will broadcast discover packet to everyone. Because the client do not have an IP address of DHCP server and client itself don't have an IP address. So it will broadcast the packet to everyone. And whenever DHCP server receives a client request discovery packet, so in the packet it contains only it is a client's MAC address. And because client do not have any IP address, it cannot send a unicast device. Only it has a MAC address. Okay. So what it will do? It will send an offer packet to everyone. But how client will understand it is its packet? By the MAC address. By the MAC address. Okay. The client receives offer packet. Okay. Remaining will drop the packet. Why? Because of the MAC address is not suitable. Still, client do not have an IP address. It is got IP offer packet, not confirmed, not yet configured. Okay. The now client by it is giving offer. So the client is saying, yes, it is giving request. Yes, I want this IP address. Again, client has to broadcast because still client do not have an IP address and don't know the server IP address. It has to be broadcast. With only MAC, it is communicating. Okay, it has to broadcast, IP broadcast. Okay. Then once server receives a request from the client and finally it will broadcast acknowledgement. So when client is receive this acknowledgement, the IP address will be configured. IP address is configured. IP address, subnet mask, default gateway, lease duration, DHCP server address, and DNS server address. Everything configured to the adapter. The next time means like in a next lease duration is completed, again, it to do unicasting only that time. So, but now everything is a broadcast only because client do not have an IP address initially, it has to broadcast. So I reduce that broadcast kind of stuff. So I put only in a simple manner. That is a good question. That is the client discover server, server offer IP offer to the client send a request to the DHCP server, DHCP server gives an acknowledgement to the client, then client will get configured with an IP address and other kind of stuff. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Get it. So here it is, guys. Once again, points are simple. What is the DHCP server will do? It assign or configure an IP address to the client devices automatically. There is a two ways of assigning IP address. One is manual way we can able to assign, or you can assign automatic way. You're assigning manually way means you have to open to the system, go to the control panel, network and sharing center, change adapter settings, or use ncpa.cpl, open the network adapter, go to the properties, IPv4 properties, use following IP address and type the IP address, subnet mask, default gateway, DNS server address. And here it is a problem. You must know what network you are using, what IP address is available, and make sure you should not enter IP address wrongly. Okay. And these are the very difficult tasks and possible. Wrong and conflicts are possible if it is a larger network it is there. Okay. Now, and everyone not know how to assign an IP address, and for certain devices, it's not much easy to assign IP address. It is difficult, and it is difficult to assign IP address to the certain types of devices. What is the advantage of using automatic assignment? Means you can use a DHCP server. The DHCP server can be your Wi-Fi router, or it can be a Windows server, or it can be a Linux server, or it can be a certain kind of service device can be there. Okay, it assign an IP address to your devices automatically. Whenever you change the network or whenever.
Fine. Your good name.
1 second, guys.